And if you don't know where to start, it can be overwhelming, even paralyzing. So let's fix that. Welcome to Simply Cyber, a community of tens of thousands of aspiring and active cybersecurity professionals focused on networking, knowledge sharing, and professional development. I'm Dr. Gerald, Auger, Chief Content Creator at Simply Cyber, inviting you to get the answers to your cybersecurity problems with hundreds of cybersecurity videos answering your frequently asked questions, interviewing industry experts, and live streaming daily cyber threat briefings hosted by me. Now get the stories and insights you won't find anywhere else. Hit subscribe now and dig into all the fresh content on the channel and in the community. Nothing should stop you from launching and leveling up your cybersecurity career today. All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the party. Today is Friday, June 7th, 2024. Welcome to the first Friday of the month, which means it's an awfully special day. We'll get into that in a hot minute. This is episode 637, 638, 639, somewhere around there, of Simply Cyber's Daily Cyber Threat Brief podcast. I, two thumbs and smiling, is your host, Dr. Gerald Auger. And over the next 45 minutes, me, you, AA Witherspoon, Kuda Chimera, Kimberly from the couch, DJ Bisek from the green room, Jesse Johnson in the bathrobe, Phil Stafford, Marcus Kyler in the Yeet crew, Devin Grady, the Payne, Kenya Nizo, John P. We're all going to be shredding the top cybersecurity news stories of the day, and I'll be giving my expert opinion and analysis on each of those stories on what it means to you as a practitioner. So how can you use this information to drive cyber risk reduction into the ground to manageable levels? And if you're looking to break into the industry, there's going to be mad value for you here. Casually Joseph's in the house. There's going to be mad value for you here because you're going to be asked in any single cybersecurity job interview, how do you stay current in the industry? This right here, secret weapon answer. Drop this grenade in the meeting interview, and people will be like, ah! Okay? Second of all, you're going to get exposed to terminology, concepts, macro level. You'll see repeats. Oh, dark side became black matter, became Malfi, became night. Oh, how do we know that? Because you stay consistent every single day. That's what's up. And finally, the Simply Cyber community, hashtag Team SC. You see that flow in chat over there, the 150 people who are here right when the show launches? That's the Simply Cyber community. Say hi, connect, network, share resources. It's all about good times. Let's go. Now, before I get into it, I want you to know I don't prep or research for any of this. In fact, I literally was coming in hot because I had to run to my kid's school a few minutes ago. So believe me when I tell you, you're getting my rough, rugged, raw reaction to what we're talking about live in progress, because it really should not be staged. I'm not going to sit up here and be like, oh, look at, I know all these really interesting things because I did research before the show started. You're getting raw talk because that's what practitioners do with each other. Now, before we dig into the show, I do want to say shout out and love to the stream sponsors, starting with my good friend, Eric Taylor, Casually Joseph, at Barricade Cyber Solutions. Squad members, drop that Barricade Cyber love in chat. Barricade Cyber Solutions is dedicated to helping businesses from cyber attacks and recover from the damage done. Cyber attacks can cause massive issues for businesses and send dedicated, hardworking business owners into turmoil. But guess what, y'all? Space Tacos, Chris K. Hall, Jamie Fleck, they know dang well that Barricade Cyber Solutions knows how to mitigate the damage done by cyber incidents. Believe that. Check them out at barricadecyber.com. Links in the description below. Also want to say shout out and love to my friends over at Delete Me. Hold on one second. Oh, God. Sometimes, you know. Guys, check it out. Delete Me. If you don't know, you're about to find out. Delete Me. Guys, I'm a person. You're a person. We exist, some of us more publicly than others, right? I'm sharing hot takes all the time here on the stream. I'm hyper aware of safety and security. It's easy to find personal information about people online. Jessica Probst, Devin Grady, Alpha Sierra. We have information all over the place. Data brokers are out of control. It's just hanging out there on the internet, and it can have real life consequences. I recently found a solution, and the service is called Delete Me. I do use it. I've been using it for a few months. It's a subscription service that removes your personal information from the largest people search databases in the world, and in the process can help you prevent being, doxxed or phished or having your ID stolen. when you sign up, you tell Delete Me what data you want deleted. They go off and take care of it, which is chef's kiss, because for me, it's basically outsourcing managing my online privacy. In addition, every month, you get a personalized privacy report showing what info they found, where they found it, and what was removed, which is super cool. They're held accountable. Take control of your data. Keep your private life private by signing up for Delete Me now at the special discount for all Simply Cyber listeners and me. Today, get 20% off your Delete Me plan when you go to joindeleteme.com/simplycyber and enter the code simplycyber at checkout. Use that promo code simplycyber at checkout. The only way to get that 20% off is to go to joindeleteme.com/simplycyber and enter code simplycyber at checkout. That's joindeleteme.com/simplycyber. Thank you to Delete Me. Now, guys, check it out. Antisyphon training, but more about them at the mid-roll. Every single episode, including First Fridays, are worth half a CPE. So say what's up in chat, #TeamSC if you're looking for something. Grab a screenshot. Emilio Garcia, right there. Boom. Emilio grabs a screenshot of his chat, saves it off. All you have to do is take a screenshot of this picture, save it off. It's time-stamped because it's a file. Count the number of screenshots you have once a year, divide by 2. That's how many CPEs you have. I guarantee you, you will you will surpass the number of CPEs you need in order to meet your certification requirements. Believe me, it's a great benefit to the Simply Cyber's Daily Cyber Threat Brief podcast. Now, really quickly, if you're a first timer here, if this is your first episode of the Daily Cyber Threat Brief and you haven't clicked away because my personality hasn't put you off, let's get a #first timer in chat. We've got a special sound effect for you. We have a special emote for you, and we want to drop them in chat to welcome you to the party, pal. So let us know where you are. While people are cycling in, good morning, Jenny Housley. Now, if while first timers are letting us know that this is their #first timer in chat, hey, Swim Chan, you are a first timer this week as well. Guys, I want to let you know we are doing bingo. All right, so every single first Friday of the month, and today is the first Friday of June, we do a bingo. We also do an AMA at noon, which I'll tell you about in a hot minute. The Payne got his or her A+ certification yesterday. Onward to Net Plus and Sec Plus. Let's go, the Payne. Congratulations, and thanks for the super chat. Straight crushing it, homie. Way to go. Hey, so we're doing the bingo. If you want to play along, there's a bingo URL pinned in YouTube chat right now. Just go click on it, set it up. Your card will look like this. If I say something like, well, let's do it live on stream, right? Marcus Kyther and the Yeet crew, you are my bingo card. See, so I go ahead and do it. If you get 6 across, 6 down, or diagonal, you win bingo today. So all about good times. Let's see how many people are currently in here. How do we view the cards? Really quickly, I want to view the cards. Computer. Oh, here we go. Oh, yeah, look at all these people. We got Emilio Garcia, Ed, Boldemixus, Jeffrey Stehens, Phil Stafford. Marcus Kyler has 2 bingo cards. You minx, Marcus. B-Sex in here. Obviously, Roswell's up in here. ZMF. All right. So a lot of people getting the cards. That's great. Let's get into it, guys. Do me a favor. We got James McQuiggan at 35,000 feet. Joke of the week. Grayson's Joke of the Week presented by James McQuiggan at 35,000 feet. So do me a favor. I didn't see any first timers, but let me know, mods, if you do. Charlie Teeter, if you want a card, you have to use the pinned chat bingo card there. Here, I will. Maybe I can drop it again. It's in the pinned chat though. Oh my god, it's in the pinned chat. Let me try one more. Can I just like copy and paste it from here? Oh my gosh. Play / Oh my god. Yeah, here. Get your card here. Get your bingo card, but use the pin chat. And squad members, if you can, if someone comes in a little late, please let them know about the pin chat. All right, guys, it's all fun and games. We're going to have a lot of fun, but we do have work to do. So do me a favor, sit back, relax, and let's let the cool sounds of the hot news wash over all of us in an awesome wave. I will see all of you, including Dreaded in Tech And Ms. Grimes, can't say the first name there because it'll trigger my smart device here, at the mid-roll. Let's go.
From the CISO series, it's Cybersecurity Headlines.
These are your cybersecurity headlines for Friday, June 7th, 2024. I'm Lauren Verno. FCC moves forward with BGP security measures. The Federal Communications Commission unanimously voted to advance a proposal to improve the security of the Border Gateway Protocol for the Internet. Now, under this proposal, broadband providers must develop and maintain private BGP security plans, with the top 9 providers submitting quarterly progress reports to the FCC. The commission highlighted current BGP vulnerabilities that have been exploited by a Chinese telecommunications company to misroute U.S. internet traffic multiple times. Additionally, the FCC approved a $200 million pilot program to help schools and libraries purchase cybersecurity equipment despite opposition.
Yeah, we don't need to educate the next generation in cybersecurity. It's probably just a passing fad, this whole cyber thing. All right. All right, guys. So check this out. Like, they throw in the element about the $200 million budget for the cyber school stuff, but don't get distracted by that. The story here is about BGP. That's Bravo Golf Papa Border Gateway Protocol. Border Gateway Protocol. What's up, wading through logs? Thanks for getting up early, you left coast minks. All right. So, hey, listen, FCC. The FCC won't let me be, or let me be me. So let me see. So the FCC is in charge of kind of like the internet. But remember, the internet is like a commons thing. The United States doesn't own the internet. It's like, like the United States can't tell like China how to do it. But we do have to agree on protocols. And BGP is how like the internet really works on the backbone side. So many of us think of like TCP or IP, right? And that's fine. But if you think for a minute, the internet is all the internet is, right? As great as the internet is, the information superhighway, as great as it is, all it is a network of networks, right? You may have heard the acronym ASN, autonomous, autonomous system number. It's like these buckets of networks. So if you ever do a trace route or something like that to like Australia from the United States, you'll see it kind of go up and then down, right? It goes up to like a backbone router or backbone, system, and then routes down. And it's BGP is how these things talk. Now, because of that, and because BGP was designed in like the 60s or 70s, security wasn't a thing back then. People were smoking dope and free love and free internet routing packets all over the place. People weren't thinking of security back then. So BGP doesn't really have that type of stuff. So thankfully, people are thinking about it now, and they are getting into essentially retrofitting BGP with security. Now, I haven't looked at what these security rules are. I'm never really a big fan of bolting on security, like bolting on to Telnet instead of just replacing it with SSH or Secure Shell. Like, that's probably more appropriate, but you know what? Anything is good. They talk about some of the vulnerabilities in here on how China has used BGP vulnerabilities to reroute traffic. You can kind of control some stuff. You can effectively like blink out like Thanos snap. You can blink out parts of the internet because, again, remember, the internet is a bunch of networks connected to the network. So if you can control BGP and basically say this network right here, this network that is India or this network that is Africa doesn't exist, or you basically sinkhole the routing, you can take something off the internet. Now, remember, the final thing I'll point out on this is the network that it gets kind of carved off from the bigger part of the internet still operates within itself, right? As a kind of an autonomous network. So it's not like if you were to blink out Africa, say, like Ghana could still talk to Ethiopia and stuff, but it wouldn't be able to get to like YouTube in California. Okay. So I'm a big fan of this. I hope to see some really interesting things coming forward on BGP. As a bonus tip, if you're feeling particularly adventurous and want to go down the rabbit hole, like say you know a little bit about BGP, so you go beyond the basics and you want to go deeper, I do want to share this with you. Okay, this is a little bit of a deep cut, but in my PhD program, there was a guy named Michael Ham. Okay, actually, here he is right here. This is Mike right here. Really, really good guy here. I'm going to show you his picture. This is Mike Ham. Really smart guy, like one of the smarter guys that I've ever met, right? And he did his PhD dissertation on basically exploiting BGP and how to do it and like how he would fix it and all these things. So if you want to go down the route, you can see right here, BGP route attestation, design and observation using IPv6 headers. He basically exploited IPv6 headers inside of BGP in order to do things. So anyways, what I would like to do is share this all with you. Again, this is bonus. If you'd like to go down the rabbit hole and have like a fun Friday, please check out my friend Mike Ham's PhD dissertation.
LockBit ransomware gang victims get lifeline from FBI. Are you or someone you know a victim of the LockBit ransomware gang? The FBI's division says they can help. A spokesperson for the agency said they have obtained more than 7,000 LockBit ransomware decryption keys and are urging victims to reach out to the FBI's Internet Crime Complaint Center. We've attached a link to the reporting form in today's show notes within this episode. Now, the report asks for information such as which version of LockBit was used to encrypt your system, what files were encrypted, and a copy of the ransom note itself.
Nice, dude.
Regulators, mount up. It was a
Let's freaking go, man. Yes, sir. Dude, I love this. FBI. Like, I mean, this is a Department of Justice IC3 website, but the FBI, or I guess the FBI is under the Department of Justice. I never thought about that before. Listen, this is cool. LockBit got taken down, as we all know, by international law enforcement. Now, it's one thing. This like makes me this is ridiculous, but like I feel like my heart aflutter thinking of the NIST cybersecurity framework, because not only did the FBI do the part of takedown, but now they're moving kind of into like a recovery phase, and they obviously have the infrastructure. They obviously have the decryption keys and all this other stuff, and they're going one step further to help victims of LockBit. And there are a ton of them, man. LockBit was like a tour de force. LockBit was like really, really like vying with Alfie as like the #1 threat actor out there. And dude, I'm loving this. So if you take note of this, okay? If you are impacted by LockBit, or you're in like a meetup or something like that, or you hear someone who got hit with LockBit. Now, remember, LockBit's been down for like a month or so. So chances are it's no new victim. So, you know, I don't know. People aren't going to just sit on their thumb for a month, and they're going to be trying to recover and rebuild and stuff like that. But maybe you rebuilt and you have old systems that you really would like to get data off of, maybe like a Bitcoin wallet. I'm looking at you, JMod. So this is cool. Take note of this and share it with others. I love seeing some type of recovery capability, some type of restitution for victims. I feel like ransomware victims are just left to their own devices, and it's like, oh, another victim, another victim. So way to go, law enforcement. I would love to see more of this as possible when you get these massive takedowns. Way to go. Like, thank you. I'm like excited about that.
GitLocker attacks GitHub repositories. New GitLocker attack.
All right, hold on. I'm getting in all caps yelled in my face from Eric Taylor that LockBit is not, in fact, down. I was under the impression LockBit had been taken down. Is LockBit sup back up? Let's go. This is from March 15th. All right, we'll have to get some clarity on LockBit and LockBit SUP and what we're doing here. So I may be misreporting that LockBit's down. I was under the impression they were down. They are absolutely crippled if they're back up. They're absolutely not operating at the same capacity that they were prior. At least that's my understanding at this time. We'll get some clarification from Eric Taylor.
Are targeting GitHub repositories, wiping their contents, and instructing victims to contact the attackers on Telegram. According to the researcher who discovered the attack, the attackers used stolen credentials to compromise accounts, claimed to have created a backup, and renamed the repository with a readme.me file containing the ransom note. The note states the data has been compromised and secured, urging victims to reach out on Telegram.
All right. Interesting. All right. This is interesting. So, this is kind of pointed. So essentially what threat actors are doing is they are holding GitHub repositories ransom. Okay. It seems like a lot of work. With like, I don't know what the likelihood of ROI is on this, but it's a pretty clever attack. Essentially, I steal your credentials. So there's the first problem. First problem, don't have crappy credentials, right? Don't reuse passwords. Don't have crap passwords. Use multi-factor authentication. You do those things, this doesn't happen to you. But let's just assume that you have crappy passwords. Okay, done. Your GitHub gets taken down. The threat actor makes a copy of it and then deletes your primary one. So they fork it and make a primary one. And then they delete the primary one and they just add a README file, which is the ransom note. Very classic workflow, same as basically old school ransomware, like ransomware 1.0, where they encrypt all your files, make them inaccessible to you, just like your GitHub repos inaccessible to you, and they leave a note on your desktop. There you go. So watch out, GitLocker. I will tell you this, if GitHub is important to your business, if there are mission critical elements to your business that depend on GitHub, and by the way, mind you, GitHub repos can be private. You know what I mean? It's not like just, public, all the things. So you should be making, backups would be nice. Strong access controls would be nice. And just be mindful of that. Okay. With this GitLocker too, they steal your creds. I don't know if, I don't think like EDR, like an endpoint detection and response anti-malware isn't going to really work on this because they're stealing your credentials somehow and then logging in as you, right? So there's nothing, there's no like malware executing here as far as I can tell. So let's go.
U.S. seeks to recover over $5 million lost in BEC scam. The U.S. government has filed a civil forfeiture action to recover over $5.3 million lost by a Massachusetts worker union and a business email compromise scam.
Oh.
Now, the union, which was not named, was tricked in January of 2023 by cyber criminals using a spoofed email from a trusted investment firm, leading to a $6.4 million transfer. Now, Security Week reports while some of the money was sent to cryptocurrency exchanges and bank accounts in Hong Kong, China, Singapore, and Nigeria, authorities have traced $5.3 million to bank accounts at JP Morgan Chase and Texas Bank and Trust, which have now been seized.
All right. Okay, so god dang, man. Okay, so here we go. Couple things here. First of all, yikes. Business email compromise. This is the key thing I want everyone to know. I mean, I've worked at businesses that have been suffered business email compromise attacks. In fact, one particular business, that's why I was hired, because it would be cheaper to pay me than get hit with one of these again. So this is kind of like the sleepy giant ransomware. So here's the deal, okay? Like for those who don't know, ransomware is like, the belle of the ball. Like ransomware's got on all the sparkly, gold, the hair's done up, right? And like everybody stops when ransomware walks in the room, okay? Spotlight on ransomware. But like ransomware's sister is business email compromise, and still looking good, still coming in, but all the focus is on ransomware. No one's looking at business email compromise. Business email compromise is equally bad, like real bad. Like people are executing business email compromise all over the place. And a lot of businesses get hit with it and they just move on. Like they're like, because you can't get the money back, right? You're just like, oh, that sucks. Like, yeah. And like, I'm telling you, they said in the story, on average, business email compromise is $12.5 billion a year criminal enterprise. Some dude in Latvia, as an extreme example, a dude in Latvia created a fake company, copied the invoices of like Toshiba, and were sending them to Google for years, and was able to just get the invoices paid because the people at Google are just like stamping like, yep. And it looked right. He wasn't even intercepting or getting in the middle of the traffic. He was literally just sending invoices and they were getting paid. All right, what's up? We see Eric Taylor dropping 100 gifted subs. Way to go. Thank you.
Did we just become best friends? Yep.
Thank you very much, Eric Taylor. And to all our squad members, hey, Toasty Pops, I see you getting squad member. Love it, love it, love it. And I hope everyone's having a good bingo. So what I want to focus on with this story is twofold. One, dude, if you're going to send $5 million, can we please have multiple checks, like multiple verifications? I get when you're sending 30,000, 60,000, that's still a lot of money. But for a business that makes like $750 million a year, 60 grand doesn't go up the chain. $5 million, you may want to make a phone call first, for crying out loud. All right. For you individuals, make sure that you have protocols in place for your organization around business email compromise. There's really, really well-documented examples of how BEC can happen. There's really great controls on how to do it. Go sit in the finance office's meeting. They have a weekly meeting, I guarantee you. Go sit in it and talk about this. Email the CFO and say, hey, this could happen to us. Do you mind if I help prevent us losing $5 million? Every CFO will nod approvingly. I saw a super chat come in from my friend James McQuiggan at 35,000 feet.
Did we just become best friends? Yep.
Both BEC and ransomware are the outcomes of a cyber attack. When it happens, it's already too late. Make sure we're securing our entry points, servers, and users. Ben at 35,000 this week in Dallas. Coffee cup cheers. Hashtag Team SC. Love it, love it, love it. All right. Hey, this is so good. Anyways, the TLDR here, this is a great, I say this from time to time. Don't let a good incident go to waste. This sucks for this union. Bad guys have a really good operating playbook on what to do with this money once they get it. They said in the story, rapid transfers went to cryptocurrency and stuff like that. Ooh, Trevor with the squad member talking about PayPal having a chargeback exploit. That's gross. All right, so educate your staff. And put protocols in place. And like James said, once the money's gone, you're screwed. There is this filing. It looks like some money is coming back, 140,000 from JP Morgan, 5,000, 580,000. So it looks like they were able to recover maybe close to $1 million. But dude, they lost 5.3. So they recovered 20%. I mean, I guess call it the small wins, but they're still out $4 million. I would be pissed, honestly. All right, let's go to the mid-roll.
Thanks to today's episode sponsor, Conveyor. Conveyor is the market-leading AI-powered platform that automates the entire customer security review process. From easily sharing your security posture and SOC 2 to letting AI answer security questionnaires instantly with 90% accuracy. Use Conveyor to fly through any customer security review in minutes. There's a reason our customers have dubbed Conveyor their favorite security tool of the year. Test it out in a free proof of concept at www.conveyor.com. That's CONVEYOR.com. And mention this podcast for 5 free questionnaire credits when you purchase a pro plan.
Thank you, Rex. Hey, good Joe with the super chat.
Did we just become best friends? Yep.
If your password is password, you're still doing it right. There we go. Thanks to the super chat. And Eric Taylor, again, thanks for the 100 subs. And if you are a newly minted squad member, because there's 100 new ones in here, do use the emote tray and giddy up on that. I didn't see any first timers, but this is what we do every day. Giselle Garcia has the baton. It looks like No Beard the Pirate is asking for the baton, Giselle. So let's see about that. But guys, let's get into it. All right, guys. Hey, it's the mid-roll. I hope you're having a great show. I certainly am. I'm loving it. Thank you all so very much. We got the bingo going. Hope everybody's having a great bingo experience. I know we got a lot of things in here. Guys, I want to let you know, hey, David Lamb, thanks for the squad membership. If you're getting value from the show, hit the like button on YouTube. Not for me, for everyone else who might find the community tomorrow. The like button triggers the YouTube algorithm to go tell cyber people what we're doing in here. It's as simple as that. Pay it forward. Shout out to the stream sponsors, Barricade Cyber, Delete Me, and Antisyphon Training. I saw Kathy Chambers in chat. I saw Wading Through Logs in chat. Hey, there was first-timers earlier. I didn't see them, but welcome, first-timers.
Welcome to the party, pal.
Welcome to the party, pal. Antisyphon Training, guys. They're disrupting the traditional cybersecurity training industry by providing high-quality, cutting-edge education to everyone, including Landon Anderson, including DJ Manny, including Cyber Butterfly, regardless of financial position, which means you can take high-quality, cutting-edge training for free in some instances. They offer their students the opportunity to learn skills, practice what is taught, and engage with the community in a fun and inclusive way. Guys, I'm telling you, you can take this class next Monday, Getting Started in Security of Black Hills and MITRE ATT&CK with John Strand. John Strand, renowned instructor, amazing practitioner. You could take his class, learn directly from him practical skills for $0. Go to antisyphontraining.com and sign up. Thank you very much, Antisyphon Training. Guys, the Simply Cyber Daily Cyber Community Challenge is an amazing community effort. So go on LinkedIn. If you want to, here's the deal. If you personally, to the 380 people I'm talking to, if you would like to blow up your professional network and get value in LinkedIn on cybersecurity, go on LinkedIn, search for this hashtag. It's simple as that, Simply Cyber Community Challenge, and connect with the people posting. Read their stories. Learn who they are. It's a community. It's not faceless. It's not clicks. It's not follower count. It's a community. Read their posts. Every single day, we ask one person to share their story. Giselle Garcia was yesterday. So please please go look for Giselle Garcia. On top of that, No Beard the Pirate has accepted the baton. No Beard the Pirate, you'll have to share your real name so we can find you. But go search the hashtag, connect to those people, comment, build your professional network. I'm telling you, professional networks are so valuable. In addition to professional networking, I want to let you know that Eric Taylor will be co-hosting this Incident Response Summit on June 19th. All right? Also, you may or may not know that Wading Through Logs is doing Cyber Threat Intelligence 101 on June 20th. Hold on, I can't find it. I'll talk about it at the mid-roll. At the end. All right, guys. Hey, every single day of the week has a special segment, and Fridays is Grayson's Joke of the Week, presented by James McQuiggan at 35,000 feet, where we get custom jokes just for us. Here we go. James wants us to know, how does Jerry or celebrities stay cool in the summer? They have many fans. Oh, my God. All right. Where do bees stay while on vacation? At an Airbnb. Buzz. Airbnb. Very funny, James. Thank you. And James wants us to know, what does sheep do on nice summer days? I don't know. There are some nice summer days coming up. James, what do sheep do on nice summer days? They go to the barbecue. Oh, my God. The barbecue. The barbecue. All right. Thanks, James McQuiggan, for the jokes of the week. Really, really funny. It looks like Eric Taylor is going to be giving out 5 tickets to Wild West Hackin' Fest during that summit. So even more reason to show up to the Incident Response Summit on June 19th, right? If you don't want FOMO, if you want to go to Wild West Hackin' Fest on Eric Taylor's dime, at least the ticket, right? It's just the ticket. I should really qualify this. Go definitely join this Incident Response Summit. It's going to be pretty awesome, guys. Wild West Hackin' Fest does a lot of really cool things. As I said before, that there is a training on June 20th, Cyber Threat Intelligence 101 with Wade Wells. He's in chat right now, aka wading through logs, so say hi to him. He's also a member of Team SC. Hi. I want everyone to know that I will be in this class. I have signed up for this class on June 20th. I will be there, and I will be giving away a voucher to one of you on June 12th. So next week on Wednesday, live on stream on the Daily Cyber Threat Brief, I will be raffling off one of the vouchers. So come take this class with me. Learn from Wade. He's a great person, very smart, a lot of opportunity to learn. Let's go.
Old ThinkPHP vulnerabilities exploited in new attacks. A new warning from Akame researchers, as they have found Chinese hackers exploiting old remote code execution vulnerabilities in ThinkPHP, targeting content management systems using outdated versions of the framework. These vulnerabilities were patched over 5 years ago, but are now being exploited in new attacks due to the availability of proof of concept code and unpatched systems. The attackers use the Dama web shell to navigate the file system, tamper with local files, and escalate privileges.
Oh my God. Okay, so hey, Rex with a super chat.
Did we just become best friends?
Yep.
Did you hear about the spider scurrying across Gerald's desk or computer screen? It was a web crawler. Haircut Fish wants to know, what is it called when a threat actor sends commands to a server that sends out those instructions to its bot? Is that a joke or is that a question? Like command and control C2? All right, hey, so check it out. First of all, if you are running ThinkPHP, you either scan your environment if you don't know if you're running it, or if you do know, make sure you patch it. You gotta patch it. Vulnerabilities from 2018 and 2019 are being exploited. My God, bro. You gotta patch it. The solution has been out for 5 years. You literally could have gone on vacation for 4 years and still come back and had time to patch this before this started getting exploited. We, I don't know, me, like to think that, but by the way, hopefully people are playing bingo and having a good time with it. I don't know where we are on the bingo cards, but a lot of people in here. Let me know if you got the bingos. Where's my story here? A lot of people like to think of like pwn to own, elite 0-day hackers. I've got to do reverse engineering and learn assembly. Yes, those things are useful and can lead to new exploits and very cool published research. But you know what? These Chinese hackers, they're not going for the clicks. They're not going for notoriety. What they're going for is successful exploitation and execution on mission. And if there's a 5-year-old vulnerability, well then, thank you very much. Let's go exploit it. Makes their job easier. John Brock's got bingo. Woo! John Brock's got bingo. Let's investigate John Brock. Let's find out. John Brock. Where are you, John? Jay Brock's in the house. Let's go. how do we see John Brock's? Oh, here we go. I almost could clear John. Come on. There we go. John Brock's got bingo. John, I'm looking at your card right now, my friend. Doesn't look like it. Judges? I don't know, John Brock. Maybe you're running 2 cards. All right. Anyways, let me continue on the story. Here's the deal. A couple things. One, it installs a web shell, which is a pretty popular approach of threat actors. That allow threat actors to kind of come and go and access file systems, harvest data, et cetera, stuff like that. So what I would recommend is, obviously, if you detect web shells on compromised boxes, get rid of them. There should be IOCs for these these web shells. Obviously, exploitation of these ThinkPHP instances definitely would be out there. The fact that there's a proof of concept code lowers the boundary. So these Chinese hackers, they're probably a little bit more sophisticated, but you have to imagine that with POC code out there, a larger attack base can take advantage of it. Just basically patch your stuff. And by the way, don't fall for this. If you do find it's diagonal. All right, let me look again. If you do find, oh, it is diagonal. Hi, I'm Jerry.
You are so dumb.
I missed the diagonal. So we do have diagonal from top left to bottom right. Threat security plus, I guess I don't remember saying that, but maybe it was in chat. Talk amongst yourselves. Don't remember saying that. Simply Cyber, Eric Taylor, you got to patch it. So I don't know. I mean, we're not really hardcore checking this, but the talk amongst yourselves, I don't know. That's a pretty specific one. Final thing, and this is like a larger picture thing for everybody. If you discover a compromise on a box, right? Don't just clear the compromise or excuse me, let me rephrase that. If you find a vulnerable piece of technology in your environment that's actively being exploited in the wild, okay? So you don't have to do this for everything, but if you find something that's actively being exploited, right? Not only do you patch it, not only do you fix it, but you also have to do a little bit of threat hunting. It's in your best interest. Do a little bit of threat hunting to see if it was exploited and compromised and, some type of lingering nastiness on your boxes. Yes, Eric Taylor is a bingo square. All right, let's keep going.
Panda Buy extorted again after paying initial ransom. Chinese shopping platform Panda Buy told Bleeping Computer it previously paid a ransom to prevent stolen data from being leaked, only to be extorted again by the same threat actor this week. Panda Buy, which facilitates international purchases from Chinese e-commerce sites like Tmall, Taobao, and JD.com, suffered a data breach on March 31st of this year. The attacker, Sonjirio, published 3 million rows of customer data after exploiting critical vulnerabilities in Panda Buy's API. The attacker is now allegedly offering to sell what he claims is the entire database for $40,000, while Panda Buy says, quote, "We cannot continue to pay the hacker fees due to frozen funds, and we cannot cooperate with him in the future," end quote.
All right. I mean, this was always the fear, right? I mean, threat actors have a certain level of reputation, right? So this guy right here, what's his name? Sanjirio with the Batman avatar. Sanjirio basically stole a bunch of data, extorted the victim, Panda Buy in this instance. My understanding is Panda Buy sent them money, and then they didn't follow through on it. They're just like, thanks for the money. Now give us more money or we're going to sell it, right? So no integrity. I mean, obviously, now the next victim that Sanjirio attacks, if they keep that name, if I was attacked by them, I wouldn't pay the ransom or pay the extortion, because what's the point? They're going there. There's no there's no likelihood that they're going to stand by and follow the agreement that you go to. Yeah. So whatever. I mean, this sucks for this company, Panda Buy. And this is what it's like working with criminals. For the most part, I would say, for the most part, a lot of times threat actors don't publish the data, but we saw, I think it was with LockBit, when LockBit got taken down by law enforcement discovered lots and lots of compromised data that had been extorted and paid, and threat actors, LockBit, agreed to delete the data, and they had not. Now, they didn't sell the data publicly. They may have been selling it, secretly, but this is the deal. Here's the TLDR. Once your data is gone, you're dealing with criminals. Like they have no incentive to agree to do the things that they say. They're not legit business people. All right. So that's the deal. That's why it is so important to do data governance. Oh my God. Hey, wake up, GRC, right? I know GRC is boring and it doesn't get any love. This is what GRC is. We put the protections in place. We put the bumpers up. We put the guardrails in place. We minimize the impact when bad does happen. That's what GRC's main gig is, right? And I know people scoff, but that's the deal. Data segmentation, data governance, access controls. So when bad happens, you minimize the level of bad. In this instance, it was API calls that were able to basically export all the data from Panda Buy. So CI/CD, they obviously have web devs. It's a SaaS-based platform, Panda Buy, so they had devs. If you are a SaaS-based company, you offer a tech solution, and you work in cybersecurity, you absolutely should buy a dozen Krispy Kremes, bring them to the dev team, and be like, hey, what's up? We really need to make sure we don't turn into Panda Buy, okay? That's the deal.
Malex ransomware targets VMware ESXi with new Linux variant. The Malex ransomware group, also known as Target Company, is now targeting VMware ESXi environments with a new Linux variant that uses a custom shell script for payload delivery and execution, which is the first for the group. The script not only deploys a ransomware, but also exfiltrates victim information to 2 servers, ensuring the attackers have a backup. The variant specifically checks for high-level user privileges and VMware ESXi environments before proceeding with an attack. This tactic aims to disrupt operations more effectively and increase the chances of a ransom payment, with recent activities seen across Asia.
All right, let's take a look here at what we're doing. Malex. So if you're running VMware ESXi chassis, which is a real thing, people do run that. I will say this Malex group might want to boogie and get while the getting's good, right? Make hay while it's sunshine, because I'm pretty sure VMware didn't Broadcom buy VMware, and they're about to change the pricing model, so a lot of people are moving to Proxmox. So Malex is either going to have to pivot, or their victim pool is going to get a lot smaller soon. All right, so what's this novel attack that they talk about? All right, let me see. Hundreds of organizations worldwide, whatever. They're very active in Southeast Asia, Taiwan, India, Thailand, etc. I'm trying to figure out what makes this so novel, right? Custom shell script. Ooh. Okay, I'm not getting anything in here about novelty. They are continuously evolving to employ more sophisticated. So this is interesting. So threat actors, I will say this, the better threat actors, and why we put them kind of in tiers, TIERS, better threat actors will continue to refine their product, make sure that it doesn't get picked up by EDR, make sure that it can circumvent patches that get put in place, continue to refine their craft, right? So that's the deal with better ransomware threat actors, even to the point where Conti ransomware, they had like 100 employees, and they actually had like a dev team, a test team. The test team had all the major EDR solutions like Microsoft Defender, Carbon Black, Sentinel-1, and they would detonate the malware on the boxes with fully updated EDR patch or solutions and see if their malware successfully worked before going to market to attack victims. So that's one of those. This Malex group, basically, guys, if you're running VMware in your environment, be careful. It's not immediately obvious to me how they get initial infection. Remember, people aren't sticking their VMware ESXi chassis internet facing. If you are, that's completely absurd. Like, you absolutely should not do that. But if they can get into your environment and then move laterally, maybe using like Bloodhound or something to find assets and then get in, they could do that, right? Now, remember too, like if I'm not mistaken, VMware in ESXi chassis, you're going to use a Linux to interface with it. It's like a Linux operating system on the back end, not a Windows server. So make sure that the creds for your Linux and stuff like that is managed properly. The one nice thing about the Linux is that if someone's driving around with domain admin, you're like at less risk, unless I'm mistaken. That's more of a specific question that I don't know the answer, right? Like, can you configure VMware ESXi to use your Windows credentials to authenticate? Like, can you configure it that way? I don't know. I'd be curious, actually. So anyways, be careful, especially if you're in that Southeast Asian market. Triple D, I know you're in that space. You don't want to get ransomwared. Also, all the standard things with ransomware, right? Backups, tabletop exercises, practicing things, all the things you want to do. All right.
Apple to debut rival password management app. Apple is saying move over 1Password and LastPass. According to Bloomberg, the tech giant plans to launch its competing password management app as early as next week. The new app, called Passwords, is similar to iCloud Keychain in that it will sync passwords the same way. But the new app will separate logins into different categories, including accounts, Wi-Fi networks, and passkeys. The new app is expected to be introduced on June 10th and available in iOS 18, iPadOS 18, and macOS 15.
All right. Apple might reveal. We've come a long way since Steve Jobs, right? Might reveal? Like, come on. They're launching a standalone password and passkey manager. It'll be interesting. They have key manager or whatever it is, Apple Keys. I don't know. I use an iPhone, but I use a different password management solution. And the cool thing is, on iPhone, it's not immediately obvious, but you can change or you can configure on your iPhone that your default password manager is not the native Apple Keys one. It's whatever you want. So that works fine for me. This is one of those things where, like, oh, okay, like, why? I don't know. Like, was anyone asking for this? Like, I don't know why I know Apple's big on privacy, or, that's kind of their marketing thing. Keychain, thank you. So I don't know like, just from a business perspective, I don't know what is driving them to do this. They already have keychain, right? So I don't know anyone was asking for this. Maybe there was some systemic larger issue underpinning keychain. If you are totally in the Apple ecosystem, there you go. I will say this, okay? I will say this. There's an opportunity here, okay? There's an opportunity here. Password vaults are definitely a great solution in the current climate, right? Like, if you can go passwordless, go passwordless. But password vaults are great. You don't reuse passwords. You really only have to remember one master password. It's very convenient. But the challenge with password vaults is that it is difficult to onboard for password vault. It's disruptive. It's a little technical. It can seem confusing. You're introducing new workflows. And I'm not talking about for me and you, Kimberly and John AI, Pastor of Muppets, Lionhead. I'm not talking about us. We can use password vaults, no problem. But my Aunt Donna, your executive team, they may not find it easy to do. And when people are presented with friction, sometimes they just throw their hands up and say, forget it. I'll just continue to write it on a sticky note. It hasn't been a problem to this point. My point is that a lot of people use Apple products, especially in the United States, right? If they roll this thing out, it's an opportunity to jump on it and say, oh, hey, basically, you could onboard people into password vaults because it's native to their phones, to their Apple ecosystem. It's a new feature. People love new features, right? So just thinking here, there's an opportunity here. Hopefully, Apple makes it really, really easy to onboard. They make it easy to use. Maybe you make a little video for people in your circle on how to stand it up, on what the benefits are. I'm just saying, man, so many people get compromised. So many people, freaking scammers, data breaches, right? We need multi-factor. We need to not reuse passwords. This is a great opportunity. Let's go. Jason Bagwell with the super chat. Thanks, Jason.
Did we just become best friends? Yep.
Love your content and what you do for the community. Keep doing what you do. Squad member for life. My man. Let's go. Woo! Thank you, Jason Bagwell. Love it, love it, love it. Let's get a little, I know it's crypto, but he does say love it, love it, love it.
I'm a crypto evangelist. I
love it, love it, love it. All right, let's go.
Remember to check out all the great...
All right, got a lot to share with you before you boogie. All right, hey, real quick, remember, we've got several things going on today. We've got the bingo. We've got the jaw jacking, which is about to happen, which is another 30 minutes from 9 to 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. So right now, you don't have to go anywhere. We're going to answer all your cybersecurity questions. On Friday, we typically do a panel. So if anybody wants to join me on stage for jaw jacking, super cool to do that. I want to remind everybody, again, next Wednesday, we're doing a raffle for a voucher to Wade Wells' Cyber Threat 101 course that I'm taking, so you can take it with me, which is super fun. Also, God damn it. Or sorry. I just have so much going on that it's always hard. If you want, next Wednesday, the same day I'm doing the raffle, I'm doing a 1-hour lecture, but it's a really fun lecture, so don't think it's like a nerd, dry snooze fest lecture. Game of Thrones, what it can teach us about cybersecurity. This is a really fun talk. It's perfect for Antisyphon's Anticast. I hope you can come join us. Personally, it warms my heart when I see a Simply Cyber raid, whether it's one of my talks or it's somewhere else. Super awesome. Also, I just found this out. I want to share this with you guys. I haven't had a chance to make a social media post, and I just tested yesterday, and I found out that I can invite all of you to this free event. Now, check this out. I haven't told anyone this yet because I thought it was a private event. So some of you may or may not know, I do speaking engagements all over the place, okay? Like the Anticast one, that's a speaking engagement, right? But I was asked by the state of Georgia to give a talk to their state agency CIOs, right? So like all the different state agencies in Georgia, Department of Corrections, Department of Motor Vehicles, whatever, like all the CIOs are coming to this talk. It's a summit. It's a Georgia Technology Authority annual summit. Now, the cool thing is, it's virtual, it's open to everybody, it's free, and I got confirmation yesterday that I can invite all of you. So if you guys want to come to my talk on, when is this? June 11th. So this is next Tuesday, June 11th at 10:35 a.m. Eastern time. What I'm going to be talking about, the name of this talk is Cyber Threat Landscape Now and Into the Future. This is a very cybersecurity focused talk. Like this talk is really fun, and you're going to learn a bunch of stuff, and this is for every audience. This talk, cyber threat landscape now and in the future, this one is more for practitioners, mid to senior level people. If you are a CISO, if you are a CIO, if you're responsible for information security at your organization, you will get value from this. I'm going to tell you the top 4 things that are concerning on cyber threat landscape, what is it, why it's a threat today, and then I'll give you my speculative hot takes on what it's going to be like in the 1 to 3 year time horizon. So please, I would love for you guys to come support me, but also get value from the talk. So that is Tuesday, June 11th, 10:35 a.m. Holler at me. And if, by the way, if you do show up to this particular talk, hashtag TeamSC or simply Cyber Raid, that would be awesome. Obviously, raiding Anticast is always all about good times. All right, I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber, guys. If you got to go, I hear ya. Much love. Let's boogie on over to jaw jacking. Until next time, stay secure. Hey, what's up, everybody? How are you? Look at you. I see you, Cyber Butterfly. I see you, Deb Wigley, James Randolph, Isaiah Morris. Welcome to Jawjacking. This is a 30-minute Ask Me Anything where we answer all your cybersecurity career questions. I'm your host, Jerry Guy, coming hot off the heels from that nerd, excuse me, that nerd, Dr. Gerald Augier's Daily Cyber Threat Brief. Guys, super excited to answer all your questions. Looks like we've got a bingo. Let's confirm it. We have a bingo. We've been playing bingo over on the Daily Cyber Threat Brief. Let's go ahead and investigate the bingo. Our very own our very own haircut fish says he has bingo. Let's investigate. Haircut fish, C2 infrastructure, LinkedIn, Jerry Gets Spicy, Eric Taylor. Welcome to the party, pal.
Welcome to the party, pal.
Ransomware and Kimberly can fix it. Yes, sir. Congratulations to Haircut Fish, and thank you all for playing the bingo. It's all about good time. It's all about fun. And thank you to those who are on bingo slots like Deb Wigley, Eric Taylor, Kimberly Can Fix It, Josh Mason, Lima Charlie, Nelson, James McQuiggan at 35,000 feet, and so many more. So funny. FedEx, why do you want me to say Jen Easterly, Our Lady of Cybersecurity, Jen Easterly? All right, guys. Hey, what kind of questions you got? What can we do if you guys want to come on? Oh, hold on one second. I'm sorry. Jackwagon. Jerry's a jackwagon. There we go. All right. So what's cracking, everybody? Busy week, great week. I'm super pumped. Next week, the Georgia Authority talk. I hope you guys can come. Way to go, FedEx, getting the bingo. Wading through logs, asking tabs or spaces. I think if you're talking about like when I'm coding in Python, tabs all day long. Gotta get that clean look. Gotta get that clean look, Wading. How long's the virtual event? I have John Strand training at noon. So Flakinator, the event is like all day, I think, but my talk is 10:30 to 11:30. So, I mean, while you might get value from the entire event, you know, 2 thumbs, all smiles. Come to this, guys, right? In fact, if you look at the actual event really quickly, I'm realizing right now it's opening messages from the governor's office, then my talk, and then closing remarks. So basically, this entire event is revolving around my talk, which is super cool. It's super cool. All right. Oh, looks like we've got some panel members here. Let's go ahead and get them in a hot minute. All right, let's go. I'm Jerry, bringing on Eric Taylor. There's Eric Taylor from Barricade. There's Casually Joseph from Barricade. Let's go. If we get some more members to join us on the panel, we'll certainly add them as we go. Really quick before we welcome our new friends here, Nerman with a super chat.
Did we just become best friends? Yep.
I will be for the Georgia Tech Authority Annual Summit for sure. Thanks for sharing, giving us more opportunities to learn. Thank you, Nerman. And like I said, that talk it's going to be really dense because I built it for them. All right, guys, I'm going to step away and get a water because I'm dying right now. But you guys start fielding questions, and I'll be right there. Casually, Joseph, you're looking good. You're looking dapper, my friend.
Thank you.
Eric Taylor, always looking bright and vibrant on a Friday morning. How are you?
Dude, I am coffeeed up and full of anger and caffeine.
All right.
That's how we
Let's
roll.
let the questions flow. I'll be back in a second.
Alrighty. I saw a question fly through earlier. Kind of lost it in the chat already. Here we go. Rex Cognitius wants to know, brownie topped with ice cream sandwich, acceptable or perfect nerd snack?
So that's just the a la mode.
Yeah.
And that's perfectly acceptable.
Yeah. I'm not a huge dessert person, but I'd eat that. I don't think it's a snack. I think that's that's the end to the meal right there, but it's good.
Wait, hold on. What are we talking about?
Brownie with like a ice cream sandwich or ice cream on it, like a la mode almost.
Yeah, the a la mode.
That sounds delicious. I don't even eat sweets. Like a hot brownie, dude.
Mhm.
I'm all about like a hot thing with ice cream on it, and that's where I'll do that all day long. All right. What about some cybersecurity questions? We got any of those? Those are always
I haven't
interesting.
seen any yet. Someone wants us to talk about the PayPal exploit that I haven't heard of yet. The PayPal.
It's not really an
chargeback
exploit. It's a money laundering scheme of some sort. So what basically happens on PayPal and some of these other ones is you will mimic that you're making a payment. It will show pending, so you'll get the items.
Mhm.
And then they just reverse the charges, so now you have your money back and item. And it's a big thing on Facebook and things of that nature. So I'm going to drop a link. This is we got to get with marketing before we can officially release this thing. But Jerry, if you can look at that and tell me, am I allowed to show this on stream or not? Because I want to get people's buy-in. It's over in yeah. It's just the way the wording is, and it's your channel.
Yeah, you can share it, but
Okay.
yeah. Just don't.
I always say I try to be respectful.
Don't lean into the
No.
The real acronym.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So I want to get people's feedback. I've been spreading this thing around, and I want to know from chat. Does this shirt look good, and would you consider getting it? What changes would you consider making?
Zoom in on it.
Yeah, so it is the adult term, but it is, man, I love firewalls. And yes, I do love me a good firewall.
I like good firewalls when they work.
Yes. Rules can be complicated sometimes.
Yeah. I've gotten a lot of calls like, do you know, like, here's a hashtag preach for those who have lived it. I'm sure BSEC's going to drive off the road when I say this. So many times people blame the firewall immediately. Like, something's not working. It's the firewall. Shut the firewall off. Open the firewall. Like, it's annoying because, like, especially if you get like a senior leader who's like driving it, it sucks. Like, it's not the firewall. The firewall is actually doing what it's supposed to be doing. You didn't disclose when we were setting up the firewall that you had these services that you needed to access. I'm not shutting the firewall down. Fool.
So mods are saying, Jerry, if you can start a poll in YouTube.
Yeah, I'll start a poll. What do you want the poll to say? Do you like the shirt? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, no, and if you add a third option, recommend a change, and then we can
Can you do 3 options on YouTube polls?
Yeah, you can do up to 4.
Oh, fancy.
Speaking of shirts, that GRC Simply Cyber Black Hills one still in the progress. There's been some updates. Very excited. Very exciting.
Tad at IT wanted to know about the incident response training. I assume he means the incident response summit later this month.
Oh yeah, well, Black Hills, yeah.
Is that next week or week after?
Let me help you with that.
Yeah, I've got it somewhere.
All right, so Mariana Albright, I shared this dissertation with you in chat. This is the IR summit right here. This is on June 19th. It is free. It's 11 a.m. to 4 p.m., so it's about 5 hours. Eric Taylor, like I said, is going to be there co-hosting and giving away 5 tickets to Wild West Hackin' Fest 2024. You don't want to miss it. I'm telling you. I hate to drive FOMO into everybody, but Wild West Hackin' Fest is undeniably the best conference ever. And you want to get to it if you can. James McQuiggan at 35,000 feet is going to be there. Obviously, Casually Joseph, Eric Taylor, myself, Kimberly, BSEC's going this year. Nick Barker's going to be in the house. Jesse Johnson, so many people. It's going to be awesome. So there you go. That's the incident response stuff. Go check that out for sure.
Space Tacos, it is a hoodie as well. So just to show the reason we've been kind of going back and forth with a lot of different platforms, but if you ever had a Hunter Strong shirt, we've really loved the quality of the fabric. So we're moving everything over to Bonfire. And I do like how it's not a separate item. So you can actually go if you want the t-shirt or you want to do the pullover. So the different variations of it, you just click over and you're able to do it instead of it being a completely separate item. So I really do like that. But yeah, it will be a hoodie as well.
All right. Space Tacos, you're the one I think of when I talk about Wild West Hackin' Fest. And I'm not saying that to twist the screws. I'm just saying it. All right, I'm ending the poll. We had 78 votes, which is pretty good corpus. It's about a third of the people here. 75% yes.
Okay.
15% no. 10% would like some changes.
The ayes have it. Good deal.
Okay.
I'm gonna have jackwagon has always been a term for me, so I think the next one will be jackwagon, something with a jackwagon.
I love it. I love it.
Amigos wants to know that he's studying for the Sec Plus and he's nervous and he's asking if you have any recommendations to get rid of the anxiety.
Yeah. So I guess here's what I would say to you. It's the unknown is intimidating. Being held, basically taking that test, that's where the rubber hits the road. There is no getting rid of the anxiety. All you can do is prepare and lean into it and just know that you've done everything that you can to be as prepared as possible. And then, execute. It's not, I feel like the anxiety is coming from essentially imposter syndrome. Which we all suffer from in the industry, right? Even people who've been in the industry a long time. You're basically being held accountable. When you take that test, you either pass or you fail. And that's the accountability part. So you're not going to get rid of that anxiety. All I can say is prep. Me personally, my strategy, people have asked me this before, so I'm sharing it proactively. Whenever I take a cert exam, I always take a practice exam before I do anything, before I open a single book, look at a single flashcard, join a single Jesse Johnson Slay stream, and I see how I do. I take it, I get a 20. I'm like, oh, Jesus, I got a lot of work. I take it, I get an 80. I'm like, oh, I'm already kind of prepared. I can identify what this is really going to take for me to get to where I need to be to pass it. Then I will do a course of study, right? The entire thing, let's say Sec Plus. I'll go through the 5 domains and I'll learn them. And then I'll be like, okay, I feel good about this. I'll take the practice exam again or a different one. Then I identify individual domains. Well, I got a 90 on crypto, a 100 on risk, and a 10 on the incident response one. Now I'm going to carve off the risk and the crypto domains because I don't need to study them anymore. I need to focus and level up that one spot. And once I get that up, then I'm ready to take the test. Also, fun fact, I highly encourage everybody who is like going to take the Security Plus or take CISP or whatever to schedule it. Even if you schedule it 3 months out, 6 months out, a year out, which is kind of crazy, schedule it, because once it's on the calendar, it is going to happen. And people have this, like, it happens to everybody. The amount of time you give yourself is how long it's going to take to accomplish the task. So put a date on the calendar and start working towards it. All right. Thank you.
Yeah, and as you said, the anxiety is absolutely natural. I took mine last November, I want to say, and I think for the 2 weeks leading up to the actual exam, I was like, if I fail this, I'm gonna look like a joke. I'm already in the industry. Like I wouldn't know what to do with myself if I failed the Sec Plus. And it really did build some crazy anxiety right up before the test, but I ended up getting like a 790 or like a 780 something. But you don't have to like perfect the test. It's not. They're not asking.
You just gotta pass it. You know, hey, like you know what they call? Do you know what they call the guy who graduated last in medical school?
Doctor.
Doctor.
Yeah.
Exactly. No one's like, hey, thanks for coming in for this job interview. Before we get started, what was your score on Security Plus? This matters. No one's saying that. No one is saying that. Okay. All right, let's keep going here.
Haircut Fish is asking what everybody's favorite network port is. I think everybody knows mine.
3389.
Ransomware deployment protocol.
Yeah. 3389.
Hey, I'm starting to feel like Jerry's got a show for that. I got a shirt for that.
Exactly. I do love oh man. I don't know. I don't have a favorite port.
I like port 123, just because it counts up. Network time protocol.
Is that what it is? NTP?
Yeah, NTP.
I guess I like port 80. You know, it's like nostalgic.
Simple.
You know? Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
What?
I can't say it on this stream.
Okay.
There's things happening in mod chat.
Not only that, but yeah.
Let me see. Yeah, no, I mean, obviously, port 80 is insecure, right? So for sure, but the vouchers given away for Wild Web Hackin' Fest, can they be used for virtual attendees? That's a good question. Eric?
For
Say again?
virtual attendees? No, I think they're physical tickets. For Wild Web Hacking Fest.
Yeah, they're physical tickets.
So if you receive one and you can't go, let us know pretty much immediately so we can raffle it back off.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds good. Edwin Blanco has a question. Should I pursue CyberSec and Info Assurance Masters? I ventured into cyber 2 years ago. I'm a 3 PAO, and the last 1.5 years, I have a BA in business and several certs. Okay, so to that question, Edwin Blanco, here's what I would say.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, okay. All right, go ahead. I totally would pursue it. You're already in the industry. You've only been in the industry for 1.5 years, and you have a business background. So obviously you've done some training and you understand cybersecurity. One really, really great thing about a master's degree in cybersecurity, and I have one, so like this is informed, you get exposed to a lot of different elements of the industry. So as a 3 PAO, you may not be doing like digital forensics, right? Like highly unlikely you're doing digital forensics, but you probably will take a digital forensics class under a master's in information assurance. So you'll get that, like, 3 months of training, that dedicated, labs and stuff like that, which will make you a better practitioner in general. No matter what, I will never be a pen tester, but by doing pen testing labs, I can learn how that looks and what to expect from a defensive perspective. So there's a lot of value from that. Plus a master's, I mean, doesn't hurt as far as like negotiating higher salaries, right?
And those, I know we're trying to be inclusive here. So those who don't know, 3PAO is an auditor and certifier for the CMMC certification body. So they're dealing with government sectors.
Yeah, it just means third party audit organization.
Mhm.
Yeah, actually, I have a question for Edwin Blanco. Because I actually looked at becoming a 3PAO, but the problem is you have to be like it's kind of janky. Like, well, this was CMMC 1 where there was like a lot of corruption and grease palms and stuff. But
Nah.
yeah, so but let me know, Edwin. Like, I actually thought about that as like a business venture, like becoming a 3PAO, because there's going to be a ton of work on that. So I don't really know what the question is, but like, let me know if there's a ton of work as a 3PAO.
There is. I can tell you, I've been asked several times to become a 3PAO and help with a lot of the certification stuff, but I just don't have the bandwidth for it. I've already got a ton of stuff that I'm doing right now. So I've thought about bringing somebody on, but
that's what I was going to do. Yeah. I actually, you know what I would like to do? Like, become a certified institution or business to train C3PAOs. That's what I would like to do, because you have to be certified as an auditor.
Yeah, you have to already become a 3PAO to be to be able to train. Yeah, there's only 2 companies that have gone through and got the certification to actually conduct a training.
Yeah, well, I looked into it like last year or 2 years ago, and it was stupid. It was like 20. You had to pay like basically like a royalty to them to be able to even do these things, which is, I said no. Okay.
On the master's topic for WGU specifically, I am starting my master's at WGU in August.
Ooh.
So I definitely support the idea of going for the master's. It's reasonably priced and it covers great domains. I'm looking forward to digging in, and all of the research I've done on their institution specifically, they give you access to a lot of great training. Mileage may vary. Definitely do research.
WGU has a pretty strong cybersecurity alumni network, I might add. A lot of good questions coming into chat. I love this. CASP plus or CISP next? Micah, I would do CISP next.
Yeah.
100%.
I think the only reason, and this is going to touch back on WGU, the only reason WGU does CASP instead of CISP is because CASP, I don't know if they have a relationship with CompTIA or not. I haven't researched that much, but CASP doesn't have the experience requirement that CISP does.
Yeah, CISP is 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I want people to know it doesn't have to be 5 years of like I was a cybersecurity professional. If you're like an IT admin and you're doing, patching or account management and stuff like that, that's cyber work. I mean, you could argue if you were help desk for 5 years and you're doing password resets, setting people up on MFA, etc., that would count too. You've got to remember, like, ISC2 is trying to have integrity on who has CISP, but at the same time, they're a for-profit company. So the more people who have CISP, the more people who are paying annual dues to them, which is
Straight cash, homie.
So
yeah, that dilutes the credibility of the certification now.
It does. I'm just saying, I'm not saying lie. Certainly not. Don't lie. But you can think through the cybersecurity related work you've done, and that can qualify towards those years of experience.
Here's a question for you, Jerry. Does the CISP actually have any credible weight when you're doing your consulting? Like, I know you got masters in your CISO and everything, but would you think somebody would say, "Oh, I'm a CISP"? I don't know if that really, unless you're in the industry, it may not hold any credible weight.
Yeah, I mean, I think of all the certifications, to me, CISP is like the professional standard, right? So Sec Plus is like entry level. HR likes it. To me, CISP, even today, and I've had CISP since 2009. I think CISP is like kind of a professional standard. Like, okay, like these auditors are coming in, they're CISP. Okay, to me, it lends a level of understanding that, okay, this person understands cybersecurity, and we can have conversations, and I expect them to be professional enough to execute the work that they're doing. Also, I don't know how widespread CISP is outside of industry, but a lot of times if you're hiring consultants to come in and stuff, it's typically the CIO or the CISO hiring. It's, it's very, I mean, it's not uncommon in smaller businesses to have the CEO reach out to you. I mean, obviously, Eric, businesses reach out to you all the time for work. It's not uncommon, but for larger gigs and more like formalized engagements, that CISP does carry weight, in my experience.
And I'll add on that the CISP, I mean, it's going to be helpful until your resume has enough experience on it that it can stand on its own without any cert.
Yeah.
That can kind of be said with every cert. If people know you, if you have a reputation for doing good work, it's not going to matter anymore. But the CISP is definitely great for starting off.
Yeah. It definitely, like, your career is going to look like a parabola, right?
Yeah.
And on the back end, you don't need certs. I will tell you, I had ISACA CISA and CISM for years, and I let them lapse because I just didn't want to pay for them anymore. And to casually Joseph's point, like, I don't need them to get work anymore. I do renew my CISP, but I honestly, I think I'm renewing it just for nostalgia, because I remember when I got it, it was like a milestone, career milestone. I felt, I felt like I had made it when I got my CISP. So I keep it for nostalgic purposes. Hey, real quick, we got a super chat, Nerman.
Did we just become best friends? Yep.
He wants thoughts about a master's degree in computer science with a concentration in AI. Now, I have a master's in computer science also. AI wasn't a thing when I got my master's in computer science a million years ago. But I think you are a much better practitioner if you have a computer science degree. That doesn't mean that if you don't have one, you suck at practicing. What I'm saying is, computer science really gives you a deep understanding of networking, computer architecture, how systems work, so you can have a better understanding and appreciation when you're doing like DLL sideloading, or there's some software exploitation like a buffer overflow in the code, or we sometimes see how like well-defined protocols that have been around for years and years and years, somebody finds some kind of like nuance in the RFC and is able to exploit it. Like, all of those things, a computer science degree gives you a really great foundation to be able to quickly understand what that is and be able to go a little bit deeper on it. And with AI being basically the new paradigm that we're living in, I think a concentration in AI would prove both valuable for you as a professional and valuable as you like go get jobs and stuff like that, because you're going to be seen as an AI expert, and people are like AI is like a thirst trap right now. People are like, oh my God, like, give it to me. All right, guys, thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much content there is to be taught about AI right now that a college would have. So if you can preview the courses that you're going to get for that concentration, I definitely would. If they seem like half-baked classes, I would probably stray away from the concentration and just go learn it on your own time. It definitely depends on the quality of the classes. I've seen some concentrations in AI before where it was just kind of teaching you how to prompt engineer.
Yeah, we've been joined by DJ BSEC. Good to see you, DJ BSEC.
It was a long drive in.
Ugh, commute. Ugh, gross. Thanks for the question. Just get you warmed up, BSEC. What do you think about masters in computer science?
Hey, if you got the time to do it, I'd say go do it.
I like it.
I don't know why you would. I mean, if you have the time and the resources to do something along those lines, go do it.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
I have a question from Jay and Michelle. Is there such thing as a firewall engineer or a niche? Is that a viable career, or do you need more tools in the belt? I'm not an expert on network roles, but I would assume that you would just be a network admin who specializes in firewalls. Not
it's one of your roles that's as part of your task as a network administrator.
Yep.
Yeah, some of our clients who are system administrators also manage or at least weigh in on the management and configuration of firewalls. I don't think. I mean, back in my day, when everybody was big Cisco heads, and you need your CCNA and CCNP and all that, and being cool dude with glasses on inside of a building like DJ BSEC, the
This guy.
there was dedicated like Cisco call manager programmers and firewall dudes and gals. But I really don't think that's a thing anymore, right?
It's not a thing in the sense of like you're coming in and you're just doing firewalls. It's not going to happen. I mean, there's no, especially with all the orchestration, right? There's no reason to have one person that does one thing. Like with orchestration, you can do it all.
Right. And I think really your closest shot to only doing firewalls would probably be if you worked for an MSP, because then you could just be the firewall guy who they send out on site for their clients to work on the firewall.
I think you'd have to be a pretty large MSP, or you have to be a company like when I used to work at Black Box and things of that nature, where you have fleets of stores for like Walmart and Lowe's and things of that nature. So large organizations, maybe so.
But but even then, guys, like for what you're talking about, Joseph, like even at an MSP, that MSP, if they're dealing with the firewalls, they're gonna do orchestration. They're gonna have like a tenant where it's, hey, if I'm doing like I've got all of Walmart over here, I have all of Target over here. You're gonna have a tenant of Walmart and all their stuff, and a tenant of Target and do all of their stuff. And it's going to be a single pane of glass where if you make one change to the firewall, it's going to make changes across the board.
Mm-hmm. That's fair.
Really? I don't know about that.
Here's what I found.
That's what they found.
Yeah, Siri.
Listen to your Siri AI.
Yeah, I don't know what you found.
Mono
you probably
Julian,
don't want to know.
With a super chat coming in, Mono.
Did we just become best friends? Yep.
Offering a suggestion on a new shirt that says, "What the heck is happening?" with a logo of Carl clicking on a phishing email. Thank you very much, Mono Julian. Okay. Am I late for a meeting?
He says he meant hack. He's like, what the heck is happening? I would love that shirt if it weren't for the fact that Carl from Aqua Teen is copyrighted.
Yeah.
Hold on a second. I think I'm missing a meeting right now. All right. I mean, we'll keep going here. I'm a donkey.
Who makes a meeting at 9:30 in the morning?
Jerry, he does it all the time, and he doesn't know how to work a calendar. I mess with him all the time. But when you get up in the morning, like that's one of the first things I do. I look at my calendar. I'm like, what do I have scheduled today? I'm always messing with him about it.
Some people are early birds, And Space Tacos is suggesting, I see here in mod chat, make a female version for the Man I Love Firewalls that says "Dang I Love Firewalls" or "Damn I Love Firewalls," just for a little bit of equality. And I agree. I can definitely see how the MILF one can be offensive.
It's not the MILF is not supposed to be offensive. It's just supposed to be a playful joke.
Right.
On a thing. And do we an honest question for the ladies out there,
For the ladies.
if we change the MILF to DILF or whatever, dude, actually now that I'm playing out my mind in the gutter, DILF will actually work.
Yeah, it's already an acronym.
There we go.
I was about to say, you're late to the party, buddy. That one's been around.
That's it. We'll get Kimberly to make one that's a DILF, and it'll be pink or purple or something, but it'll be just for them. That's a good point. We'll make two versions.
Did y'all get
Cassie Chambers is in chat, and I don't know if she's trolling me or not.
Did y'all get the question from Trey Black where he's asking if somebody has to have a specific level of knowledge before they attend Wild West Hackin' Fest?
No.
No, I did not see that question. No, anybody can go. I saw kids there, like people's children were there, and they were playing on their iPad and running around. So
Yeah,
Yes.
I even heard people, kids from, I'm
there, and
the one
people
guy.
call me a kid. So.
Oh, you are a kid. But Bollock's kid was there last year.
Yeah, there's tons of kids. I mean, it's like a retreat for it's like a community retreat more than it is a cybersecurity conference. There's a ton of cyber stuff going on, but it is a community retreat. There's games, there's parties, there's activities that are unrelated. We organized a chess tournament last year, me and James McQuiggan. There's it's awesome. It's totally family friendly. It's totally family friendly. It's totally on brand. Like Simply Cyber is not well, I guess we're a sponsor this year, but like it's a Black Hills event. But if you like the Simply Cyber community vibes, you will like Wild West Hackenfest vibes because they're very, very similar. It's such a good experience.
Since we don't have a lot of questions, when I was driving in, I heard y'all talking about Sec Plus and CISSP and I guess having that fear of going and taking the test and how you would stop that. And like everybody said, you're not going to stop the fear of the unknown. And the fear isn't that you can't take the test. The fear is that you're going to fail it. And don't have fears of failure, because with failure comes success. Mm-hmm. Without failing, you won't know what you don't know, and therefore you can't succeed later on. So that's my 2 cents with it. I tell people that I work with or that I bring in that say, "Oh, I don't know how to do all of this stuff. I don't know that." And to me, I'm like, "Hey, I've built this stuff. I know it in and out. If you break it, guess what? Then you get to learn how to fix it." So you got to take that same mentality towards everything. You may fail, but that doesn't mean that you're going to fail forever. You may fail one time, but then just go retake it and walk back and pass it.
Yep. 100%.
I had somebody here. His name might be Jerry Auger. Could be Jerry Guy. I don't know if he had his glasses on. He told me that leaning into the uncomfortable means you're growing. So
exactly.
Yep. Yeah, 100%. Like if you're comfortable, then like you're not expanding. Like you're just comfortable. You're chill. You're moored to the dock, right? Now, you don't be reckless. Don't just freaking run into the burning house, but, put yourself out there. Oh, I want to share an update with everyone. Actually, no, I don't. Never mind. Sorry. Jackass. Me. Sorry about that. I was going to share something, but I'm going to wait until it's closer to being done and then share that with everybody. I'll just back.
I love the mod chat. Kimberly found an image of dude just like doing the stand-ups, wakeboarding, and getting knocked over by a dolphin.
All right. Why is it I don't like that. Oh, there it is. There we go. All right. What other questions? What do you think about making a Carl Inc. to serve as an example for implementing controls and principles? Carl Inc. to serve as an example.
Okay.
Oh, maybe Benjamin Middleton suggesting like a fake organization. Maybe I'm not sure, Benjamin, what you meant by that. Let's see. What other questions we got here? Fall hard, fail fast, learn faster.
Leroy
for sure.
Jenkins. That is a term I've not heard in forever.
Do you feel the Dorito stains and taste the Mountain Dew in your mouth associated with Leroy Jenkins?
Dude, I've got 3 bags of Doritos downstairs.
Oh, so this is kind of a little fun thing. I just can't get past CISSP being called CISP. I don't even know who said that. I see it in chat though. How do you pronounce it? I've always said CISP.
Yeah,
that's how I say it.
Yeah, because it's quicker to say CISP than CISSP.
Yeah, and nobody got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
So Trey Black just put in here, can you trust browsers with saving credentials? Should organizations not allow it?
No.
100% do not trust them. Do not allow it. Turn that off. Make them use a password manager, for the love of God.
You can actually set up in your GPO or endpoint manager if you're in the 365 ecosystem to disable password storing in the browsers and force people to use your password manager of choice. And for the hot topic, do not store your TOTP codes inside of your password manager.
That's where you get using an MDM, an endpoint manager of some sort, where you can lock it down so they only are using Chrome or they're only using Brave or whatever it is, and then able to lock that browser down so they can't do that. That's what you want to do.
Yep. There's a lot of, these info stealers like Redline, which is quite popular, dumps those creds. Like that's why you don't want to do it. It's vulnerable.
Yep.
Plus, it doesn't scale well. It's just in your browser, right? Like,
well, I mean, so think about it. What you just said, Jerry. All they got to do is send one bad email to somebody that's going to click on a link that goes out, and boom, you've got a dump of everything.
Exactly.
So, I mean, that's the best way to describe it to your end users, to whomever, upper management, of why we want to do it this way is because it only takes one person to click on there, and now all of their credentials. So if that person has a 365 account and they have a YouTube account and it's all saved in there, now they've got all of those passwords. Now all those passwords and usernames are now in Rocky.
Yep. And I got to tell you guys, like it's easy. It's easy. You'd be stunned at how many people are falling for these info stealer things. Like, I know BSEC has seen Flare. I don't know if Eric and Casually Joseph have, but Flare.io, I did a video on the channel for them. That platform, like it's very, very useful for practitioners to be able to get like centralized aggregated threat intelligence and do something with it. But if you just look at the sheer volume of Telegram channels dumping creds from Redline, it's like it's mind-boggling just how widespread it is.
I would say, Jerry, if you haven't, if you're in chat and you have not gone to Flare.io, I would send them a message. Now, granted, they have to vet you to get access to it, but try to get access to it, and you get free access for 7 days, and just watch what happens. If
It's
you're
very
able to get access, just watch what happens and see what comes across for 7 days for what I think you get like 5 or 10 markers. It's crazy. It's nuts of what comes across.
So I missed part of the show, and I want to bring it up. Was the Windows recall discussed at all during the podcast this morning?
No, I don't.
No, not this morning. Last week. Big thing.
Can I go off on it real quick? Is that okay?
Yeah, I mean within Simply Cyber community guidelines, but yeah.
And you got.
Yeah, I know we always gotta put that asterisk there. I gotta. But those who don't know, this lovely gem was dropped last night from GitHub on what he's calling Total Recall.
You'll have to zoom in, please. Thank you.
So this gentleman went through, or I say gentleman, but this individual went through, got a couple of the Copilot PCs, went through, found the directory. I'm not sure why my mouse is doing this. It's been driving me nuts. But it's saying the images are stored in the following folder, which is not encrypted. It's in a flat database file.
Oh, no.
So you can actually look at it. And he's got this whole thing lined out. And it is a hot mess express. Just like I was going off the deep end, a lot of cybersecurity folks were going off the deep end. I know BSEC was talking about it in mod chat a little bit during that day. But yeah, it's so cool. So hackers and malware can't access it. No, they can, as we all suspected.
But it's encrypted. No, it's not.
No, it's not. So I'm gonna drop this in on chat, so that way everybody can do it. And I will probably do a stream on it at some point in time. I got to go get a Copilot PC. I may just go to my local big box office store and get a new Surface or something. It's been a while since I messed with Joel Belton's icecreamshop.com, so I may use that for
Threat Actor Academy.
Dude, I own that domain, threatactoracademy. Maybe I should
you
use
should
that.
put it on there.
I should tie it to a 365 tenant and do that, yeah.
Hey, really quick, Mono Julian had sent a super chat a minute ago, and now he sent another one, so let me give some love.
Did we just become best friends? Yep.
Mono's got some shirt suggestions, but so one shirt, budget goes a long way, not only for ransomware. Another shirt suggestion, he's on a tear here, a QR code that says scan me, and when the person scans it, states that they could have been a victim of a hack. So kind of like an educational tool /
There's
There's
some other folks.
Just do a QR code that when they scan it, it goes back to the guy that's like, got him.
Yeah, it had to be something else. There's another cybersecurity firm that if you've been around me more than 5 minutes, you'll know that I really don't care for them. But they have that as part of their branded marketing, and so I don't want to pretend like I'm mimicking them. So it'd have to be something else, a little clever in that aspect. But I do like the got 'em idea. We'll have to figure out something.
Yeah, I dropped the GIF in mod chat.
Everybody's using that now as a way to do something using QR codes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean that Coinbase Super Bowl ad.
Yeah.
I
mean that was like
2 minutes of a QR code bouncing around. That's an expensive QR code.
Yeah. Trey Black wants to know, do endpoint detectors catch people using email drafts to communicate? During the war on terrorism, the CIA discovered that terrorists were sending files through email drafts on the same account.
They do not detect that.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a little, even if you think about malicious and EDRs designed to track behavior analysis, right? But having drafts in an email is a very I got 14 drafts sitting in my email. So we're working cases and we're finding things. We try not to overflood our clients with, hey, what about A? And 5 minutes later, what about C? And what about this thing? And what about that? So I try to make sure I don't forget stuff because I'm full of ADHD, unmedicated, as you can tell. So if I don't write stuff down, then I forget in 5-10 minutes. So I have drafts all the time. So
I forget. To this point, I forget where I saw this at. I think it was on a Darknet Diaries where one of the I think Jack was interviewing a lady that she went out. I think it's his last one. Basically, she went out after 9/11, she was a mother, did a whole bunch of stuff, and she actually got into where she was using drafts with somebody in maybe it was 4chan or 8chan, but they got in there and used drafts, and they actually ended up getting into accounts and fighting terrorism that way. But yes, that's one of the big things is using drafts in the same email and everybody logging in and just reading that and then deleting it out. I'm sure there are ways, depending on what type of tenant you're in, to maybe give you alerts, but there's not going to be an EDR system like Eric was saying that's going to go like, somebody logged into this from. I guess you could put conditional access on something like that if you said, hey, Jerry logged in from South Carolina and BSEC logged in from Texas, and then Casually Joseph back and forth, and you could see alerts from where everything's being logged in from. But that would get pretty complicated and complex.
Yeah, well, and I want to point out too, like EDR solutions are endpoint detection solutions, and they're looking for malware detonating, weird processes spinning up. They're not like if you typed in like, oh, I'm going to hack all the things in an email, like EDR isn't going to fire on that. That's not the right security tool for what we're talking about from a threat perspective. So just to be clear for folks. But yeah, that's a threat.
We got a question from
put in there. Shannon, Jack's last one. Shannon on Darknet Diaries. It's a great story.
I'll share this in chat with everybody, and I'll share it on screen.
Yep. We got a question from Spencer Damon. Can anybody recommend an enterprise VPN solution that has a highly granular source IP geolocation feature, accurate within a couple hundred miles?
What? Say
I'm
that
shut
one
up.
more.
That's the network specialist.
So,
An enterprise VPN solution that has a highly granular source IP geolocation feature.
yes.
What are you wanting the geolocation for?
To make sure that
Geofencing.
so you can't get a VPN connections from outside of the U.S. or from your specific
you're
state.
just talking about putting rules in place.
Yeah, geofencing.
Yeah.
I thought you were actually like, hey, this is where they're logging in from. No.
Yeah, I mean, FortiGate and Palo Alto have those built in all day long. It does take a little bit of finessing to get it to work. If you ever mess with...
That's loud.
Wow. We didn't even get an infographic with that one.
From experience, I can tell you it is very easy to use on Palo Alto. You literally type in United States or Russia or whoever block. I mean, it's...
Yeah, but if you're just trying to get it granular,
game.
that's where I was getting ready to say, if you want to really get it down to specific states, it gets a little bit more complicated. It's going to take you about an hour or so to set up because it's a little tedious, but you can get there. Ideally, Joseph is actually about to see this in a couple of weeks, but if you can get your remote users to have a static IP address, even if you pay the couple bucks for your remote users to have it, and just lock it down to that helps all the work that much more. Then that's a trusted remote network connection, and you're allowed to allow that one to come in and authenticate. And Joseph, that's why I do what I do.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're getting real granular with that.
For the 245 people still here, just a reminder, today is the final day to submit your coloring submissions for the Simply Cyber Community Coloring Contest. Today's the deadline, and we'll be announcing the winner live next Friday.
Is that going to be the Auger household weekend activity, sitting grading coloring activities?
Yes.
While it's going to be Nadine and the two kids, and Jerry's going to be on Magic. He's like, yeah, that one's good.
Yeah. I'm going to be sitting in a
just over here rolling dice.
Yeah. I'll be right out. No. So I'll drop a link to that so everybody knows. But just if you were, if you, I know, like, for example, Joe Hudson had his son color, but I haven't seen a submission from Joe. So we're going to be really firm with this deadline. So
Phil Stafford wants to know if there's any solutions that tie into GPS info and not just IP geolocation.
Not to my knowledge.
Mm-mm.
That is getting, that's getting stupid granular.
Yeah, that's getting creepy.
That's getting
granular.
that's like government level
I was going to
stuff
say
right
that
there.
might be like a government thing.
Yeah.
That's the only time that would be applicable in my, we deal with some massive tinfoil people with really high privacy security concerns, and they don't even want that granular.
Yeah.
And I mean, just like logistically thinking through that from a mobile device, because there's sensors already capturing GPS location that could be pulled in. But like if you're at a facility or moving around, like on a laptop or something like that, as far as I know, laptops don't typically have GPS coordinates unless you're going to like somehow triangulate on the wireless towers. I don't even know how you would do that on anything outside of a mobile device, like a phone.
I mean, you could have applications that get your location. Of course, if location's not disabled on your device.
Yeah.
But
well, that's what I'm saying. Like phones have location telemetry you can pull, but like my laptop doesn't.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, some of them do.
Huh.
Especially if they have a wireless
too.
Yeah.
Especially if you have a wireless network adapter built into it.
Mm-hmm. They surely do. They have location services enabled. That's why you're able to pull up MSN and get your weather, and it's accurate to your city.
Well, excuse me while I
Yeah, I gotta go disable a couple things here.
You can tell Jerry hadn't built a machine in a while because when you actually build like a Windows 10 or Windows 11,
Yeah, you have
at
to
the very
disable
beginning,
the
it's like, do
location.
you want to locate this machine?
Yep. You gotta disable it. It's
Joseph,
enabled by
I'm
default.
management now.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and Windows 11, if you haven't built a Windows 11 machine, you have to have a Microsoft account to get in unless you know how to open command prompt and shut down the out-of-box experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate
Um,
that.
Shift
It's
F11 or
disgusting.
Shift F10.
Yeah, Shift F10.
And then you can type in OOBE / bypass NRC or NOR, something like that.
Yep. NOBE bypass OOBE. That's it. / OOBE.
We've got a super chat here
we just
from
become
Mono
best
Julian.
friends?
Another shirt idea. This one very funny. He wants Eric Taylor on a bike, similar to ET heading back into the world. That a security is fortified or a spider crawling closer to Gerald, and each spider leg having an attack scheme. I do like if we could get
Jesus.
Haircut Fish. If you could put Eric Taylor, you know what I would like? Eric Taylor on the bike and like casually Joseph as ET, like in the basket with like the hoodie on him. Can we do that? That would be hilarious.
So we got to get Joseph or Haircut Fish and Kimberly put together.
Yeah, I love it.
That would be.
I love it,
dude. I wonder how much that would play into the theme for Wawa Hackin' Fest this year. I know it's Space Cowboys and all that, or Firefly, or whatever the heck it is, but
yeah, Space Cowboys. Let me see this really quickly. Per request, Kimberly can fix it. Yeah, I've got to drop at 10. My 9:30 meeting agreed to change to 10. He's actually in stream right now, watching us. But so Kimberly can fix it. Is here now. There we go, Kimberly.
What is going on? There we go.
Yeah. As always,
nominating her to do stuff that she doesn't know about yet.
So funny. All right. This has been good. Final questions, final roundup. Again, super pumped about the Georgia Authority talk next week. Kind of a busy week. We got a busy day today too, guys. I don't know if this panel is going to be available, but if you've been getting value from this AMA, which is run an hour long, we are doing a live AMA on the Simply Cyber Discord server at noon Eastern time today. And it'll be not streamed, so you can't get it on YouTube or LinkedIn. You'll have to come to the Discord server. We like doing it that way because it's a little bit more private. It's a little bit more personal, and you can ask some questions that maybe you don't want to ask in such a public forum. BSEC, thanks so much for being here. So come check that out. And as always, you can be a bit more raw on Discord, yes.
Yeah, so if you want to hear me talk openly and publicly, then go to Discord. Here we go.
All right. So let's go ahead and conclude here. I want to thank the panel, Eric Taylor and Casually Joseph from Barricade Cyber. Remember, there will be a raffle for 5 Wild West Hackin' Fest vouchers on June 19th at the IR Summit. Go to antisyphontraining.com to learn more. Next Tuesday, I'll be giving a talk to the Georgia Technology Authority that you can join, and I would love to have your support there. I'll drop a link in chat, I think. I don't know where that is. I'll do it later. And then Wednesday, I'm giving an Anticast talk at noon that'll be public on YouTube on what Game of Thrones can teach us about cybersecurity. You don't need to be a Game of Thrones fan. I will back brief everything, but you will see a lot of parallels, which are unbelievably funny. As far as the coloring contest goes, Brent B, midnight tonight. So you got all day today to submit. I will collect them tomorrow morning and distribute them to the judges and let them rip into it. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. You had Eric Taylor, Casually Joseph, BSEC as your panel. Shout out to the mod team, Jenny Housley. Kimberly can fix it. Justin Gold, JMod, obviously the mods who are on panel as well. Jesse Johnson, who had to go into dad mode. Until next time, everybody, be well and stay secure. content. Keep the cybersecurity train going by connecting with the other Simply Cyber community resources. We have the Discord server that's lively and always keeps the conversation going. You can connect with me directly on LinkedIn. And also every single weekday morning on the Simply Cyber channel, we're doing live daily cyber threat briefings, 8 a.m. Eastern Time, as well as Thursday at 4:30 p.m. We're doing live stream interviews with industry experts, and we produce videos that we push out every Wednesday morning. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. I hope